Okay, we're back to the Surah by Surah series, part 23. Surah al Muminun. This is the believers. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You know, sometimes we meet someone and say, this person's a true believer, but according to who? According to our vibe check? Our Tea Party standards? No. Allah has his own checklist for who qualifies as a mu'min, and trust me, it's a higher bar than just saying, I believe. So today, we're diving into Surah al-Mu'minun, where Allah himself tells us the traits of the real believers. If this surah were a job interview, you better polish your CV of Iman before applying. So, the surah overview is revealed in Mecca. It has 118 verses of the heart-shaking reminders. Focus is the qualities of true believers, the signs of Allah's power, stories of the prophets, and the consequences of disbelief. So in the opening, the checklist of the true believers, this is verses 1 through 11. Allah begins with a divine guarantee. Certainly will the believers have succeeded. That's the very first verse in the surah. And then gives 7 traits of those believers. This is khushu and salah, which is deep humility, focus and presence of heart in prayer, avoiding useless talk, steering away from gossip, time wasting and harmful speech, giving zakah, is purifying wealth and the soul through charity, guarding your chastity, protecting sexual purity, except with lawful spouses. Faithfulness to trust and promises and keeping your word, guarding prayers, being consistent and disciplined. And the end reward, they will inherit Al-Firdaus, which is the highest level of paradise. Wherever in, they will abide forever. The signs of Allah in his creation. This is in verses 12 through 22. Allah reminds us of our humble origins, created from clay, turned into a drop of fluid, developed stage by stage in the womb. And he then points to livestock as provision, water and crops, the seas and ships for travel. And this section trains the believer to see Allah in everyday blessings, a very mu'min habit. So, lessons from the past prophets. This is in verses 23 through 50. The surah revisits Surah Nabi Noah, which is Prophet Noah, peace be upon him, the ridicule he faced and the destruction of his people. Hud, alayhi salam, and Saleh, alayhi salam, his peace be upon them, warning their people and being rejected. Musa, which is Moses, peace be upon him, and Harun, which is Aaron, peace be upon him, delivering the message to Pharaoh. And Jesus, or Isa salam, or peace be upon him, the reminder that he was a servant of Allah and not divine. So all of these stories are united by one truth: success is tied to the following of the messengers, and destruction follows arrogance. The reality of the Day of Judgment, verses 51 through 118. Here Allah paints a vivid picture of the blowing of the trumpet, people rushing from their graves, regret of the disbelievers, the hopelessness of those who ignored Allah's signs. It ends with a beautiful dua of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And it quotes, "My Lord, forgive and have mercy, and you are the best of the merciful." That's in verse 118. So this for my non-Muslims. To our friends who don't follow Islam, this surah begins with successful indeed are the believers. But the word believers here isn't just a religious label. It's a character profile, humility, honesty, charity, purity, and consistency. These are the values of every human admires. The Quran calls you to connect these values back to their source, not human intervention, but divine guidance from the Creator who designed us, and it invites you to think. If Allah already knows the qualities of success in this life and the next, isn't it worth following His checklist instead of making our own?